Bless German internet. I don't know when I dropped out, so what I said, as I said, Vectronom is a rhythm platformer game. It's an isometric 2-dimensional. I think we've wasted enough time now, so let's just go. I hope, bless RNG, that we can watch the full run now. Please, provider. All right, let's go without further ado. 3, 2, 1, go! So, this is Vectronom. We are these little cubes, and this thing here is a pickup which I'm going to collect. And since this is a all pickup run, I have to collect all of the pickups. Now, the levels in Vectronom are set out in level sets of 3, and these are always on a global timer, so the time you spend in the first level affects the next stage and so forth. And the level sets are always packed together in 3 level sets, together form one form of the levels on the map. Now, oops, I have to really concentrate on the beat now. As such, I will probably stop talking and instead introduce you to my commentator, Bad Black Shark, who is also the world record holder, so he knows a lot about this game.
Hello? Jesus Christ. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Shark, so I'm gonna be talking about the game a whole bunch. Yeah, I mean, already got a lot of interesting stuff out of the way. What we will be seeing here on the last stage of this level is that Zed will use 2 players to get the pickups. We use multiple players in a lot of places to get the pickups because oftentimes the goal and the pickups are in unfortunate relation to each other, and so it's just significantly faster to do this. If you're wondering what the controls are, he's controlling the purple cube with his right hand, the arrow keys, and the yellowish cube with his left hand, that's WASD. Also, apparently there's some echo.
Might be my headphones which are bleeding.
That's
I can try to turn them down, hang on.
That's fine. Anyway, so here we're introducing jumpy pads. As you can kind of see from the animation on them, they activate twice per beat. And they bounce you into the direction that you last moved in, so your last input counts. They bounce you 2 steps forward or 1 step forward and 1 step up, depending on where the next block is. Here we're gonna see a neat little 2-player strat, so getting the pickup in this top left corner would require you to do 2 rounds usually. So we just get to pick up with 1 player and then the other one goes to the goal. You'll see also a lot of times some strats that you might think we should do, or some strats that we do that you can't quite explain to yourself why we're doing them like that. Yeah, okay. And that might be because of the global cycles in this game.
Whatever.
So for each level, all the stages are always going all the time. Wow, neat strat there. And so if we lose time in an earlier stage, it will affect the way that we have to play the later stages. So you can watch out for that. Another interesting thing is, since we use multiple players to collect pickups and or go to the goal, whoever collects the pickup, or whichever character collects the pickup, isn't allowed to die after the pickup has been collected. The game remembers who picked up which pickup, and if the player dies, they lose those pickups, and so we're gonna have to go back. This is especially interesting in levels where 1 player goes to the goal before all the pickups are collected. And if you somehow mess up the timing and the players you're sacrificing for the pickups die, and then you touch the goal, we need to replay the entire level because you can't go back in stages. So that's also definitely something that we need to watch out for. I think that's all the core mechanics out of the way for now. Maybe we'll see a neat little cycle skip here at the end going into the next stage.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, you have to gamble a little bit with the timing there. Zed unfortunately went a tiny bit early. So the game doesn't require you to have perfect precision on the music. There's a slight input margin, and in some places we abuse this input margin to go a little earlier than we're supposed to. But, if you go too early, then you just fall down. Here, turns out you can do 2 cycles in 1. It's pretty neat. Right, nothing too special here, except if you die at any
Oh,
point
no.
here, then then the
Yeah.
pickup cycle is messed up, and then you might need to wait up for the pickup cycle. Also, here we will see another case of global cycles. So usually, let's see at which point, yeah. So you see Zed has to wait right here. If he had done everything perfectly, he would have arrived at a point in time where the cycle would have just started for him. But since we have this thing where all the stages are going all the time, now he had to unfortunately wait a tiny bit. Alright, going into this level, it's called Factory Ship. Fortunately, kind of an auto-scroll, and there's not really much to do here. But wait. Yeah.
So if there's anything to plug or to read, now would be a good time.
Oh, great. Okay, we've got $20 from Ursi8885 saying, make that come back. As you can see,
What?
he's indeed back. So that's the donation that probably made the round happen. We've got $2 from Hedvig saying, as you say, Bonnie, because for a short time the donation total was $666. Have now $20 from Bad Black Shark, actually saying, this is a preemptive donation per death for this Vectronom run. Just calculate how much I'm donating per death after the fact. And with that, we have actually met the incentive for Vectronom. So we are going to see that additional level. Thank you very, very much, everyone.
So,
All right. There's one thing with this level with rather slow music that I just remembered that I should definitely mention. This game has an input cap, so we can't just spam arbitrarily fast. This input cap changes every level because it is tied to the beat or to the BPM of the song that you're playing. You can never go faster than 4 times the BPM, so that'd be 16ths. And especially on the one you just saw and the one after this level, you will really see how that will affect the gameplay. So sometimes if you just see Zed basically jump really slow for no reason, but you don't hear him press the button really slow, that's probably because the game dropped his input. Also, these spikes on this stage are really annoying, and they always remind me of people in the city walking in front of me.
dang.
Dang. Also, nice attempt at that strat, though. It's a really new strat, so please excuse the little hiccup.
I think I came up with it at ESA Winter. Alright, I'm happy when this stage here is over.
Everyone is always happy when this stage is over. So this song is the slowest song in the game. It has 100 BPM, and that means you cannot do any inputs that'd be faster than 400 BPM. And if you do like quick double taps, that happens really quickly actually. And the game already counts that, so you can't go faster than the rhythm of 400 BPM. So if you just do 2 inputs that are too close together, then you just die. Well, you don't really die, but your input just gets dropped, which usually leads you to die. So now what I mentioned earlier comes into play with one player dying and losing the pickup. So the yellow cube has collected this pickup there. However, Zed needs to manage its life while he's doing the rest of the map with the purple cube. If the yellow player dies at any point, he'd have to replay that part as well.
Playing it super safe.
Yeah. This is definitely a level that should be played safe.
I said and failed. I don't believe. Okay, how do I save this? Okay. Alright, alright.
This is, in my opinion, the hardest level in the run. Just because the BPM is so slow and the level is really large and really complex.
You often overestimate how far you can jump in the cycle.
Oh yeah, for
because
sure.
the BPM are so slow. Okay.
The cubes unfortunately don't have names, but feel free to give them some.
Here we go. Next try. Playing it super safe. Nope. Save, please.
We're doing it.
Safe. Safe.
All right. Now
Okay.
we have the thing again where the spike cycles on this level are not even remotely close to what we'd expect them to be, because, you know, when we practice these levels, we don't assume that we're gonna die. So the spike cycles we expect are always the ones you get when you don't die. So if you actually do end up dying, then you might encounter some spikes that you don't really expect.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
I'm just glad that this stage is over.
So this level is called Autobahn. It's very straightforward, quite literally.
Little fun fact, just today I came up with a new strat here, but...
Are we gonna see
Oh
it?
god, no, sorry.
Alright, so the pickups are coming in from the top there, so we're just sending one player to go collect them and the other just goes to the goal. Alright, now we're gonna kick things up a notch. On this level, we're introducing the third player, which Zed will control with UHJK, so he's gonna play 2 players with his left hand. Let's see here real quick. So he just jumped over that. Aw, that was unfortunate.
It's okay.
He just jumped over that air gap to hopefully catch a cycle. Unfortunately, only one of his players got it. The pickups on here are at the outermost points of this middle diamond after it's shifted. And so we send 2 players to go collect those and the third player to go to the goal. We're gonna see a bunch more 3-player stuff later in the game as well. This trick is kind of precise. You can always do 2 cycles in one go here. Alright, wonderful. There we go. This level has a really good song. Wow, that's a really neat dash 1 strat.
Yeah, that was pretty good, pretty clean. But that wasn't clean. But
That's fine. We're gonna wait.
yeah,
I mean,
come
at
on.
least the stream gets to hear more of this song. The song of this stage, I really, really love.
Okay, we can do this. Hang on, next try for sure. Okay,
more.
I
Okay.
just do it like this. All right, so
And speaking of song, if you're liking this, the game's full soundtrack is also out on Bandcamp and Spotify and other streaming services, presumably also. And the songs in there are like full versions of what you hear here. So they have like a proper intro, outro, transitions, all the good stuff.
yeah, whoops.
Right, as you can see that to hear a bunch, you've also seen this before, we call this a spike hop. So if a spike is traveling in the direction that you're not traveling in, so if it's coming towards you, you can just hop over it.
Yeah,
And that saves some
I just do
time.
it like this.
Someone in the chat is asking what your heart rate is while playing this game. I think that has the capabilities to answer that at this point in time because the
Come
heart rate
on.
is too high.
What is going on? Okay, slow strat.
Sometimes the spikes really don't want to cooperate. Alright, so you're supposed to hide in each of those corners here, but we can always go 2 at a time.
Nope. Come on.
Oh, you're doing the cool strat, wonderful. So you can just run along the bottom there, and that's actually 1 cycle faster than just hiding behind the blocks every time. One thing you might have noticed is this 0/100% in the top left, and you might be led to believe that that's the completion. So, but we're not in fact at 0 out of 100% completion. This is the speedrun HUD. The 0 represents the player input margin. So I mentioned before that there's a little bit of lenience. you can actually change in the settings how much lenience you would like. And 100% is the tempo he's playing at. So after you've beaten the game, you unlock free tempo mode. Also, there's a pickup on the other side of that wall, exactly where the other one was, so we need to go back to that. So after you beat the game, you unlock free tempo mode, and you can change the tempo from anything between 50% to 200% and do some shenanigans with that. And we used the 0-100 to show to the speedrun.com moderators that we didn't mess with the settings.
I'm really playing it slow here. All right.
Everything's faster than that.
Oh shit, I lost the cycle here because I looked at the spike, but we got past the level, so everything's fine.
Alright, so this level and the next one are really auto-scrollery. So if you have anything you'd like to say to the stream, now would probably be a really good time.
Sure. I would just like to draw attention of everyone in the chat to the fact that we are only $14 away from hitting dollars in total. So if you want to snipe that really nice number, now is a really good time, because we have actually met all of our incentives for the last few rounds left. But we can still continue donating, and thank you very much for all your support so far.
Alright, so this next level is called Tetromino, and it will be very obvious why that is. With this, there's a little bit of some unfortunate timing going on with the global cycles. So Zed could have actually caught this first cycle here, and it wouldn't have mattered at all.
But this mattered.
I think that one mattered.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure if that one mattered. We'll have to see how things look on the third stage. But you can, on the third stage, you can only go every 3 rounds. I actually don't think your death there mattered.
Could be.
Still gotten the same one. And if you get the perfect cycle, this line piece will be there, but you will not have enough time to traverse it downwards. It will be there for like 2 beats or something, but it's too many steps to take, which is kind of unfortunate, but well. Alright, so now this next level is there to really teach you how jumpy pads work. Because a lot of players think here that the direction these jumpy pads travel in matters, but as I mentioned earlier, the only thing that really counts is, or the only thing that does count is the last input you did.
Oops.
I was gonna say, you're gonna need that.
Yeah. Oops. Missed the cycle here.
Well, that doesn't matter yet. Okay.
Ah, but now it
Dang.
knows.
Okay, so you need to get 2 of these fast cycles here, and then you can catch an earlier cycle on the third stage. So you see, we just missed that jumpy pad right there. But that's okay.
Yeah, this will be the time when we would take a selfie.
Yeah, if I lived closer to you, we could take a selfie right now, but in fact I do not. Alright, so next up is Checker Waltz. Checker Waltz is a really fun level, because basically we do the same thing 3 times, except it looks better every time we do it. So here you see now we don't get the square all the time, it just gets filled out, and we walk around. And now we no longer get the filled out square, however we have imagination and pretend it does. And if we pretend hard enough that it's still filled out, we can just walk over the air and go to the goal. That was beautiful.
I pretended hard enough. So I
did pretend hard enough. Okay, so here Zed is resetting right at the start to set up the cycle right here. Unfortunately he missed it by like a fraction of a second. You can actually, if you reset at the start, you just get you get just enough time to catch that bounce pad.
That's unfortunate.
All right, here again you have the situation where.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
I'm always dethinking myself. Yeah, I'll do it. Okay, my 2 play. What the
There's
fuck?
no deathless runs yet. We're trying still. So you can see the 2 pickups are at the very sides of the map. So obviously 3 players is optimal. Right.
I'm messing this up.
One more. We're getting it. It'll look cool once we get it. There we go. Wonderful.
Missed one here. Okay, one thing, the next levels are looking pretty interesting now with the multiplayer strats. So what we're doing in the community often is we're using hand cam. So this is why I'm now going to switch the webcam from my beautiful face to my, well, maybe not so beautiful hands, so that you can see what I'm actually doing. I hope that you can, come on. Yeah, like this should be possible. Okay, I hope that you can see stuff. And now let's continue with the run.
All right, here we go. So this is a good time to mention how the time signatures of these levels work out. So this level actually has a different time signature in each stage. I don't remember all of them, but I know this first stage is in 9/4. So you definitely have some rhythms in here that are very non-standard.
Shoutouts to all those Swiss viewers.
Alright, next up is Arrow Walk. This has a really cool 3-player strat at the start.
Oh, come on. Alright, let's
So
try it again.
close.
Are you not...
And here we found out not too long ago that you can just walk across the bridge there, and you just skip a cycle every time you do that. And it just looks really neat. Also, the music on this level is really good.
yeah. Wrong input. Would have saved the cycle otherwise, but...
That can happen really easily with these multiplayer strats, though, because there are so many like different keys you need to hit to like manage all of your players. Sometimes your hands just shift by like one key on the keyboard, and then you just get wrecked by that. So this level is called 7, and if you pay attention to the time signature, excuse me, it should be really obvious why that is. So this first stage here is not too interesting, all things considered. Just has a nice soundtrack. So basically you just traverse the crosses and follow the spike. What's kind of interesting, if you see in the top left, like the top leftmost cross still exists, but it is actually unreachable. There's no way to ever get to it, and the spike on it indicating where you're supposed to go after it leads to nothing either. I always find that kind of interesting. Likewise with a couple of crosses in the middle.
Not going for the cycle there, it's too risky.
Don't worry about it. So, now on this stage, there's 4 pickups that are in the top left and bottom right corner, really. And the goal is in the bottom left corner. So we're going to use 3 players here, send 2 players to go get the pickups, and 1 player to the goal. And it just looks really beautiful when executed like this.
Alright.
On these circle or rectangles here, not really circles is it in the cube world, you can actually go towards like the next corner, so you can skip a corner theoretically. You have enough time to do this. However, we unfortunately figured out that there's no benefit to this, so you'll have to live with on-beat playing. All the levels can actually be beat by just being on beat, and they all work out really nicely. We obviously don't do that in every place, but 7 is one of those levels that just works out really nicely when played on beat. So this is Schultz, I think the only level in this run anyway that has 3-player strats on 2 stages that we do. So
Not sure what
this
happened
first
there.
one is still kind of tame comparatively. I mean, still 3-player strat, not really tame, but tame compared to this one. There you have to do a lot of offbeat movements with all of your 3 players.
What? Yep. Alright, let me try this. Ha! My finger was off. Come on.
There's also the stage you see like the pickups are at the outermost point of those diamond shapes. And if you don't touch the goal fast enough, right there, your outer players die, and then you need to play the whole level again. Because when they die, they lose the pickup. But I do think that has gotten them...
Yeah.
Yep. It says
Unfortunately, it's taken a few more attempts than I intended, but I got the pickups, that's what counts. Whoop, what's happened there?
Alright, so this is Ship Hop. Ship Hop is the only level in the game where after a stage transition, the level doesn't change whatsoever. So we go across, and now we need to go back, and the level didn't change at all. However, if you mash in perfect double time, you can just walk across straight up. Well, Palex, you know what to do then. Okay, so next up is the level with, in my opinion, the best music in the game. I really, really love this track, and it's even better in the soundtrack version, so you should definitely give that one a listen, if nothing else. Again, we're gonna be doing like the same thing here a bunch of times in a row, except we add a spike for each stage. So the first stage had 0 spikes. This stage gets 1 spike.
Bottom.
That travels clockwise.
What am I doing? Oh, oh, sorry. I lost focus. Happens. Top
I have
left.
the visual. That's okay.
Top
like this
right,
level, you really have to pay
bottom
attention.
right. Bottom left. Okay. Here we go.
This level, you have to really pay attention where the spikes are. So now we got 2 spikes.
Bottom. Left. Top. Right. Bottom. Okay, good. Here we go.
Alright, there we go. And on to the final level. It's called Witchcraft, and it is going to look like such as well. The first stage was not really all that interesting, but the second stage has 2 pickups on opposite corners, and the third stage has 4 pickups on basically opposite corners. And usually, as you've seen so far, a lot of the 2-player movement was mirrored. But on this level, we unfortunately can't play mirrored. It's a 90-degree shift, which, if you've ever tried something like this, turns out is significantly harder than playing mirrored. So we're going to see some really cool movement here, and I'm probably going to shut up for that. So, and if you thought that this pattern was complex, we're kicking it up a notch in this third stage again.
Yeah, already messing it up at the start.
It is a really complex pattern.
Here we go.
I mean, obviously there's also the little gimmick that you barely see anything, but we're not too concerned about that anymore at this point in time.
Usually.
Well, I don't think the not seeing part is the problem. I think the problem is playing 2 players with a 90-degree shift and a really complex pattern. Time is coming up, by the way, when he touches this glowing cube here at the end. And time.
All right, that was the run. I hope I wasn't too much overestimate.
I actually didn't see the final time. What was it?
Okay.
28:52.
Okay. Apologies. That was a bit of a... All the things that happened with the internet outage and stuff that kind of struck my nerves a bit. And one issues I have with this game is whenever I try to practice it, I always get stuck in a level and I think, oh, there's a pretty neat strat in there. I should try that out. And then I spend 2 hours trying to perfect the strat, and then I upload a new video onto the Vectronom Discord, and everybody's like, Zed, no, and I'm like, I'm sorry. Anyway, but what we do every time when we enter a level is we check the level select screen and we see, aha, all these little tiny yellow lights are blinking or are shining. That means I actually didn't miss a pickup, so this run is valid. Woo! Okay, so thank you for all your donations. We got the donation incentive met, which I will use to showcase a little hidden beta. No, it's a hidden debug level. To do that, we first have to, hang on, have I set up everything correctly? It should work. All right, we first have to exit the game, and we can modify our game data. So if you go in your Steam library here and you have Vectronom installed, you can see here, go there and go to Properties, Local Files, and Browse Local Files. You get to a folder of the local files of the Vectronom game. There is a folder called Vectronom_data, and you open that. You go to Streaming Assets, Data, Level Data, and this are basically all the levels in the game. Now, there is also our save data that we have. This is in the Windows App Data folder. We can find it here in the Save Data folder, and that right there, the data.json. We're going to open this in a text editor and see, and you can see that here these level IDs, it's always a date and a name behind. They are listed in the save file. So this is telling you all the levels. It will also show, okay, I did where I did get the badges of no death, or where I did get all the pickups, which should be true everywhere. All right, if you are savvy and really want to look into this, you will realize that there is one level here in this list that does not appear in that full list of a completed save file. And that one is this level. And so this is the level that we're going to try to access. By the way, there is an achievement to access this level, so this is totally intended by the developers to reach it, so I'm not like hacking the game or something. Well, I technically do, but it's intended to do. So here's the level. We want to copy this level ID, which is the name of the level, and also paste that one to the last level visited ID right here. So I paste that here. Also, because I have completed the game, we have to the finish last level, it's written as in Finland. We have to put that to false instead of to true.
Oh my god, I love finish with two ends. That's I never saw that. That's actually kind of hilarious.
So we now should have, if everything went correctly. Whoops, where's my Steam? We should have modified our save file now. So I saved it as well. Okay, so now I will go to Vectronom again and play that. And it should catch up in the stream very soon. Hang on, it will adjust the screen capture in a minute. All right, now. Okay, now if I did everything correctly, and I practiced this a few times before, so everything should work. Yeah, I clicked continue, I went through the menu too fast, and now I'm in the hidden debug level. So that is a pretty crazy level, because that one has like jumping pads all over the place, and it has goals, but when you reach the goals, you just reset the level. Goals.
That's a lot of golds.
Yeah, and here's like some sound test switches.
Oh. I've never been here.
Oh wow, you should. Now you know how to.
Well, I knew how to. I just never bothered because I don't care about achievements.
And we can test some bouncy pads. And if we go over there,
is that pickup collectible?
Yeah, they are. But well, you reset them if you. We have to go here. Now we have a hello.
Hello. All right. Cool.
And I just need the. Hang on. There's one more thing that I want to activate.
This is wild, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Go to the right for some time display, apparently.
Yeah, there is a time display. I'm just not entirely sure how it activates.
Civil says right and up.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Up,
and now we have like a timing display of. That's what I wanted to show.
Oh, that's the Gamescom demo levels, I think.
Yeah. So
Up and down, that wasn't in there. I do believe that's like the demo though, the original demo, or like an old demo or something. Not quite Gamescom demo. Gamescom demo didn't have up and down.
but I think it's a pretty wide level, and it shows you what weird stuff is possible in this game. What you can, for example, what I really like is this optical illusion right there, where you think you could jump across, but you can't because it's actually on a different level than you perceive. And yeah, you can explore this level a bit and find out some stuff. And there's always these black lights. It's really weird, but I think it's pretty cool to check it out. Anyway, so that is the debug level. Thank you very much that I could show it. Apologies for delaying the schedule even further, but I think we're really close to the end of the marathon, so I hope it won't matter too much. Thank you very much for having me. Sorry about all the internet issues, but it held strong for when it came back. Whew. All right, so that was it from me, this marathon. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for donating for the children. Thank you, Shark, for providing co-commentary. Really was a blessing to have you, so I could concentrate on the gameplay.
Listening to the game's music, because you have to do on and off beat movement with like very specific timings, and talking at the same time is definitely the step up.
All right. So with that, I will give it away for the next runner. So take care, have fun, viewers, and we will see us around. Bye bye.
Thanks everyone for watching. Bye.